You are welcome to the Messiah channel, which is an end time prophetic channel. We are awaiting the arrival of the Messiah. Today, our message is dedicated to the icons that were exposed. They were released. Putin opened the votes in Russia, and he revealed the identity of Bible characters, men and women in the Bible who are revered, who have been debated. Searches have gone, historic searches, archaeological, and all kinds of research has been taken and undertaken to reveal the identity, the character, and the race of those who are mentioned in the Bible, including the Messiah himself. The debate has gone on for a long time. The painters have done their work. They have painted the images of the Messiah in a color that they want. They've painted the image of Mary in the color that they want. But here we are, Putin delivering a spiritual nuclear bomb. It's a nuclear bomb in the spiritual realm, because when Putin opens the votes in Russia so that people will see the true color of the men and women who are mentioned in the Bible, it is something that is unprecedented. And I consider that to be a spiritual nuclear bomb. It is not Hiroshima bomb. It is not the bomb that was dropped in Nagasaki. But I'm talking about a spiritual bomb that has been dropped in the basement of the Vatican. The bomb has been dropped and it has shattered the foundations of Christianity. And I'm talking about Christianity as was preached from Rome. Putin's bomb has shattered the myth of a white Jesus Christ. And today we are looking at the implications. We are looking at the spiritual implications. We are even looking at psychological implications. A lot of people have been lied to by their pastors, by their parents, by their teachers. And when they talk about Jesus, who he was, the lineage of Jesus, and what he looked like when he lived in the world. And as you are aware, that has divided Christianity. It has divided the world. The Lord didn't want his identity to divide the world, but to unite the world. And here we are, at the time when the final trumpet of heaven has sounded. We see a man. He's not a pastor, he's not a professor, he's a politician, he's a leader of Russia, a major superpower. He makes a decree, and the decree is to open the Vaughts in Russia for everybody to know the mystery that has been existing in the world for centuries. And the bomb has been dropped. The spiritual bomb has been dropped, and Putin himself is speaking, and he's saying that Jesus Christ was black and he's encouraging his people, the Russian nation, to be guided by a black Jesus. It's something that came from the mouth of Vladimir Putin. He is not insane. He's not crazy. He's an intelligent leader, and he's a world statesman. And I don't think he made the declaration to win a political advantage or a strategic advantage. After all, Putin is the leader of Russia. And at the time of making this video, Russia has more nuclear weapons than any nation that has existed, including Babylon, United States. So I don't believe Russia made a statement that Jesus was black just to win favors, just to win strategic advantage over any other nation. Yeah, Jesus was black, as depicted in the icons that have been revealed and unveiled in Russia. And I'm leaving the links to 2 videos in the description box, and one of the videos talks about the statement made by Putin, and you can actually watch the video, and you see the truth is coming from the mouth, not of the Pope, not from the apostate Pope, but it's coming from Putin himself. And so I'm leaving the links in the description box, and you can go and watch the video. Another video is also put in the description box, and that video talks about how Western Christianity distorted the image of the Messiah with the intent to preach a doctrine, a false doctrine based upon white racial supremacy that will justify slavery, that will justify colonialism, and that will justify distortion of the Bible in order to project a false image of white supremacy in the Christian world. And so we are focusing on Putin, Russia's leader, making a declaration that the votes in Russia, holding the icons, the biblical icons, the votes should be open so that everybody can go and watch to see the truth. The truth will set you free. Psychologically, it will set you free. Emotionally, it will set you free. And so if you are father, if you are pastor, and if you are Sunday school teacher taught you a myth of a white Jesus, and now I believe that you can know the truth, and the truth will set you free. It is not too late. The Messiah has not arrived yet, but he's coming. And Revelation 1:7 says the Messiah is coming. He's coming on the clouds of heaven, and every eye will see him. And when we say every eye will see him, I'm talking about those who pierced him, and including those who use brushes to paint his image in colors just to score racial points. And they will see him, and he will appear, and you appear as light, and he will shine the whole world, and everybody will know the truth, including the truth about the identity of the Messiah himself, and everybody will know the secrets that were hidden. They were hidden by the Vatican, secrets that were hidden by the powers that be in the world, the Egypts and Babylons that have ruled the world, the Gentile powers that have persecuted and prosecuted the children of God who are scattered over the world. And Putin made a statement, and Putin is saying that the icons depict the famous characters who are revered in the Bible, starting with the Messiah himself, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, Moses, the prophet, Mary, the earthly mother of the Messiah, John the Baptist, who baptized the Messiah, and the men and women who were associated with the Messiah. And you see that they were people of color. And it is evidenced by the icons in Russia. And Putin is saying that the icons in Russia, the Vaughts in Russia, they are the oldest in the world, in the history of mankind, and they have been preserved. They have not been subjected to any paintings. No king in England has given orders to them to change the image of the people, and no pope in the world has given orders to Russia to whitewash the images of the icons and who the icons of the people who are discussed in the Bible, in the Old Testament and also in the New Testament. Russia was very proud. Putin said that Russia will lead the world in acknowledging a black Jesus. And that is a nuclear bomb, but it's not a Hiroshima bomb. It was not a bomb that was unleashed to kill people in Japan. It is a bomb that was unleashed by Putin to save the world from lies, to emancipate the minds of people whose minds have been colonized. They have suffered from centuries of manipulation, mental slavery, mental torture, ingestion of false doctrines, including the doctrine and the dogma that God is white, the Messiah is white, angels are white, all the prophets in the Bible are white. It's a dogma. It's a disease. It's a spiritual disease. And Putin has released a bomb, a spiritual nuclear bomb. And that bomb hopefully will save the world. It will heal the world that is plagued by racism, and racism being preached from the pulpits, from cathedrals in Rome, in San Francisco, in Soweto. It's a bomb that is meant to awaken the Hebrews who are scattered over the world. And I will do a special video on that. But with Putin's revelation that the Messiah, Yeshua Jesus Christ, was black as depicted in the icons in Russia, it is a new dawn of the awakening of the Hebrews who are scattered over the world. Putin made some statements that are politically important. I'm not saying the statement is politically correct, because a politically correct statement is a statement that is made to satisfy the powers that be. And so in America, even from the pulpit, the pastors preach gospels that are politically correct, because those are gospels that are accepted by the political elites in Babylon, America. And it is an apostasy. It is a doctrine of demons, and these doctrines must be preached, because those are the doctrines that are politically correct. And so in America, as in other Western nations, it is politically correct definitely to preach that Jesus was a white man with blue eyes, wavy hair, tall and handsome. And it's also politically correct to preach that the message of the Messiah can be diluted. And so when the Messiah preached about holiness, it is politically correct to preach that we no longer need holiness. A man can marry a man, and a woman can marry a woman. And so Russia is saying that he and his Putin is saying he and his people, the people of Russia, they will be guarded by a black Jesus. You remember what Joshua told his people? As for me and my family, we will worship the Lord. So you can go ahead and worship any other God that you want. Joshua told the Israelites. And so Putin is now speaking. Putin is a white man. He has a white skin. And he is telling his white brothers in Portugal, in Sweden, in Germany, in France, in England, in America, you can worship your white God. You can worship your white Jesus. But as for me, Putin, and my people, Russia, we will be guided by a black Jesus. Because the icons that we have, the information that we have, shows that the Messiah was a black man. And so we want the world to know that the Messiah Jesus was a black man. And so that is what is going to guide us. Of course, Putin has also come out, and he has said that he's not going to accept LGBT, and every other nation can go ahead to accept a woke culture, can accept a sodomite culture, but Russia will not do that. And Russia is now in a new spiritual age, the age of truth, the age of reckoning, the age of unveiling the icons in the Bible. And the evidence is that the men and women in the Bible who are revered, the ones who wrote the prophecies in the Bible, including the Messiah, they were black. And so it is a nuclear bomb, and I don't think there's anything that has shaped Christianity more than the revelation of Putin, and Putin himself leading the evangelism, leading the world in truth, in appreciating the Negro identity of the Messiah, and he's saying it. And so it has a lot of spiritual implications. And he made a statement, and the statement he made is that it is not those who have power who have control over the truth. It is not those who have power who should have control over the truth. It is the Lord himself who has control over the truth. And Putin is in power in a time such as this. And Putin made the revelation at a time such as this, at a time that is a perilous time. It is the end time. It is the time appointed unto the Messiah to come the second time for those who are waiting on him, as discussed in Hebrews 9:20 and 28. The Messiah is coming. He is coming in the clouds of heaven, Revelation 1:7. And Putin is preparing the way for the Messiah. I'm not sure he's aware. I'm not talking about whether Putin is a Christian or he's a Democrat. All that I'm saying is that he is leading the awakening of the world, that the Messiah, Jesus Christ, you may call him Yeshua, he was a black man. He's awakening the world, and the awakening is coming at a time where we are very close to the revelation of the Messiah himself. The Messiah revealed himself to Apostle John in Revelation. His hair color, his skin color were revealed to the Apostle John. He has written about it, and nonetheless, the powers that be found it necessary to bring racism in the church. The people who brought racism in the church, these are the colonial master, the merchants of war, those who kidnapped the children of God, enslaved them, and changed the narratives of the Bible by justifying colonialism on the basis of skin color, and also preaching a gospel of exclusion, where people were excluded from salvation based upon the color of their skin. And in the United States, the Bible was distorted. Only certain verses were preached to the Negroes. And these were verses that will put into the minds of the Negro the mindset of inferiority, the mindset of white supremacy, the mindset that will justify a slave worshiping his master. And that's why in the United States, a new Bible was given to the black men and women. I'm talking about the Hebrews, the children of God. They were given a slave Bible the same time that the slave trade was, quote unquote, abolished by the Christians, abolished by the slave masters, abolished by those who supposedly fled Europe, who fled persecution from Europe to ensure liberty in the United States. Those who installed the Statue of Liberty, these are the people who printed a fake Bible, the slave Bible, and gave it to black men and black women to read. And I'm talking about those who use Christianity to justify the atrocities that they meted to Native Americans and to all people of color all over the world. And now, when the black man, the black woman thought salvation was not coming, when they thought that the truth would never come out, they would die, but the truth will not come out until they die. Now, 2024, when this video is being made, there's a leader called Putin. He's the leader of Russia. He has come out and he has said that the icons in the votes in Russia, the true evidence of the black identity of the Messiah. And so now Russia is going to be guided by a black Jesus. He's a white man, Putin, all right, but he's not going. He's not going for the myth. He's not going for the lies. He's not going for the propaganda. Is enough. Is enough. He has seen the propaganda all his life, but now the truth has come out. And I'm sure that there are some people who are white people. Their fathers told them lies when they were growing up. Their Sunday school teachers told them lies about the identity of the Messiah, the racial identity of the Messiah. Their professors and teachers told them lies about the identity of the Messiah, and they are all white lies. I call them white lies because these are lies based upon the whitening of history, the painting of the icons white when the icons were black. And now Russia having monopoly of the icons, the oldest in history, the oldest Vaughts in history. Russia has come out, Putin has come out, and he has shamed the Pope. He has shamed Pope Francis, the Pope of Rome. He has suppressed the truth. He knows the truth, but he has suppressed the truth. He has not said anything divinely important about homosexuality. He has not said anything that will awaken the world about the true identity of the Messiah. The professors, the teachers, the leaders, those who are in control of the world, they are aware of the lies, but they have not exposed the lies because it is in their interest for the lies to be perpetuated so that they can mount the architecture of white supremacy in the church, in the halls of government, because they are in power. And Putin is saying that it is not those who are in power who control history. There is an Elohim, an ancient of days, who is in heaven, who controls history. And I am ashamed that it took somebody who is considered a communist, somebody who is considered a dictator, somebody who is considered uncivilized, somebody who is considered a warmonger. It took that person to come out with the truth that the Messiah, Yeshua, was a black man, and Russia is going to be guided by that reality. They are going to respect the Messiah irrespective of his color. And so they will not be as hypocritical as other people. They will not be as hypocritical as those who painted the image of the Messiah as white. And the truth has come out. Jesus' color doesn't matter. Paul said that there's no distinction between a Gentile and a Hebrew. We are all the same, whether slave or bond. And that is true. But the color of the Messiah mattered to people. It mattered to the kings and queens of Europe. It mattered to the popes of the Roman Catholic Church. It mattered to politicians. It mattered to those who control museums and libraries in the world, because they have an interest to project a white Jesus in order to support a white supremacist ideology and culture, oppression and suppression, exploitation and subjugation all over the world. But the Lord is a Lord of justice, and there's a proverb in Ashanti. The Lord, when he takes his stone, he doesn't throw it immediately. The Lord will take a stone, but he would not throw it immediately. He will wait. He will take his time before he throws the stone. And so the Lord was waiting, and the Lord heard the apostasy in the church. The Lord heard lies being preached aboard the slave ships on the Atlantic Ocean, and outside of the slave ships in the Atlantic Ocean, on the slave plantations, the lies that were taught as true gospel, the racist gospel that were preached from the pulpit. The Lord heard all of it. Now he knows about the paintings of the Europeans, Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo. He knows the so-called discoveries of Vasco da Gama, Bartolomeo Dias. We're talking about European heroes. We're talking about heroes of colonialism and exploitation. We're talking about heroes of genocide. And the Lord knows all that they did. And the Lord knows what Christopher Columbus did in North America. But he has taken his time, and he has waited until a time like this. And he has found his anointed, and the Lord's anointed is Vladimir Putin. And he is the one who is ruling the nation that has the largest number of nuclear weapons in the world. And so tactically, we are talking about the strongest nation in the world. And when we're talking about nuclear arsenal, we're talking about Russia. We're talking about the nation that has the strongest or the most the most prominent arsenals, nuclear arsenals in the world. I'm talking about the nation that exploited the moon, first exploited the moon. I'm talking about a leading nation. I'm talking about the nation that has the largest land mass in the world, has the most natural resources in the world. I'm talking about Russia. Russia may not be a democratic nation. Of course, democracy is about control by the elites who matter. It is what the elites say that form democracy. And Russia is not a democracy. Russia is not a Christian nation. But the Bible is very clear. The Lord will use the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. And so the Lord is using Putin. The Lord is not using the King of England. The Lord is not using the President of the United States. The Lord is not using Pope Francis, the Bishop of Rome. The Lord is using Vladimir Putin to declare to the world that the Messiah, Yeshua, was a black man. And as for Putin and his people, they will worship a black Jesus. And so Putin is saying the same thing Joshua told the Israelites. As for me, Joshua and my people, my family will worship the Lord. You go and search for the Lord that you worship, the God that you worship. And so Putin is telling his white brethren in Portugal, in Sweden, in France, in England, in Australia, in New Zealand, and in Babylon, America, that as for him, Putin, a white man, he and his people will be guarded by a black Messiah, a black Jesus. And I'm sure Putin is aware that the Messiah is coming. He's not an atheist, and it is hypocritical to conclude that the Western world is Christian and Russia is an atheist nation. He's taking a leader of impeccable credentials to come out to proclaim a black Jesus. He's very bold and he's telling the truth. And when you tell the truth will set you free. And so I'm sure that people who are watching this video, the takeout is that Putin has delivered a spiritual nuclear bomb. It is more earth-shaking than the bomb that shattered Hiroshima and Nagasaki. It is a spiritual nuclear bomb. It has shattered the lies in the Vatican, shattered the lies in the museums in Washington and in London and in Lisbon and in Rome and in Paris, in Buenos Aires. The truth has come out. And who can fight with the truth? The whole world will be in darkness, but a darkness in the world cannot comprehend, cannot stand the truth. So a small truth is coming, and it will overcome the world of darkness. But in this case, the truth coming from the mouth of Putin is not a small truth. It's a spiritual nuclear bomb. The Messiah, Yeshua Jesus Christ of Nazareth, our Lord and King who is coming to rule, he was a black man. He was a Negro, if you will, and that is more than a nuclear bomb. It's a spiritual nuclear bomb, and let you be awakened by it, whether you are a black man, whether you are a white man. Let you be awakened by the bomb, the spiritual bomb that was delivered by Vladimir Putin. Thank you for watching this video.